that is going to put you in jeopardy in networking.
I just didn't stick around long enough.
You don't know the lay of the land. You don't know how this group works yet. You want to make friends. All right. So tell me all the things. What is your big business challenge? How can I help?
Mostly about around networking.
Mhm.
I guess specifically how to find networking events, what to do when you get there, and what to expect to be able to turn those into.
Okay. Well, these ones are both equally hard, but perhaps easy challenges. We're going to see both ways how it's hard, but easy at the same time. So, the first one is how to find networking events. And the second one, what do you do when you get there? Okay. I'm going to start with the
Hmm.
what do you do when you get there? Because I think that this is a really important concept. The main thing you want to be doing when you're at a networking event is simply this: you want to make friends. That's it.
Okay.
And so the reason why this is important to think of first is because I want you to think of who are the types of quote unquote friends you would want in your business? Like, what is the kind of person that you're trying to attract? What kind of relationship do you want with them? And who would be a perfect client for you? So tell me about who you're looking for in your business.
Well, I focus mostly on high school seniors. However,
Mhm.
I am trying to kind of make a bigger percentage of my business out of corporate headshots, professional portraits.
Ah, well, I got good news for you. These are actually probably going to be the same person. So that makes life easy. I do a ton of headshots as well, and seniors definitely. And the nice thing is, like, if you think about it, when are moms at their prime career time? It's typically as the kids are getting
Hmm.
older, you know? So, like a woman
Hmm.
in her 40s and 50s, that's the time in her life where she's going to have teenagers and young adults. And that's also the time where she's going to be at peak career earnings. So, if you're looking for branding, headshots, executives, you're going to find that they may be the kinds of clients who have teenagers. So that's really helpful. And are you leaning
Okay.
more towards, do you tend to work more with the moms, the women, or do you tend to work more with men slash dads for seniors?
For the seniors, more connection with the mom,
Yeah, I agree with that. Cool. And for headshots,
definitely.
do you have a preference there if you're working more women or more men?
Right now, I've been about 50-50, but
Cool.
my overall percentage of headshot clients is still relatively small.
Okay, great. And either way, you could have a dad parent or a mom parent, and they could be great connectors for you. So I like that you could
Sure.
kind of hit up one demographic, and that can work for multiple genres. So we're looking for a woman, late 40s, maybe into early 50s, and peak of her career, established entrepreneur or maybe even C suite. Are there specific businesses that you're trying to attract?
I don't think necessarily.
Okay. You're just there for headshots, whatever business they have. Cool.
Sure.
Okay. So now that we know who you're looking for, I think we're looking for something like certainly a business group, maybe even a women in business group if you want to go specifically there. You could also think
Hmm.
about if you wanted to hit certain types of businesses. Like some people do very well being in a real estate industry event or a law firm industry event, things like that. So those are more if you want to go into niche areas. But if you just broadly want to know where to network, here's what I think you should look for. Most times, especially with the family shoots, the senior shoots, we are going to be looking for women because women very much understand
Hmm.
family portraits and they're drawn to capturing those moments of their kids. So, the first thing I would look for if I were you is I would look, does this group have a balance of women and men? And if that balance is shifted more towards women, I'd be very happy. So, that's the first thing we want to look for.
Okay.
Like, do you see the type of person in the room that you're trying to attract? And the second thing you want to look for, of course, we are a luxury business. So you want to look for, does the group have other luxury businesses as well? Because there are other service
Mm.
providers, then that's going to really help you connect with people. That's going to show you the signal, okay, I'm in a high end group. If you go to a networking group, and let's say everyone is in the trades, you've got your plumbers, your
Hmm.
electricians, let's say you've got your mortgage brokers. That may not be a group that's going to be great at referring you because they're going to have a completely different business structure. But if you
Sure.
go to a group and you look for these three things, so like write this down, tattoo this on your arm, this is the key: local, luxury, service. That's what you want to be
Okay.
looking for: local, luxury, service. So breaking that down, local is going to be businesses that serve your community. So for example, Saks Fifth Avenue, that's luxury, right? But Saks Fifth Avenue, you would have a hard time connecting with someone who could help you by referring you because that is going to be a very corporate structure. So the stylists that work there may not be interested in referring because they have their
Mm,
own corporate way of marketing. But if you have something like, let's say, a high end luxury boutique, they are doing boots on the ground
mhm.
networking just like you are, and they're connecting with ideal people all the time. So that could be someone who you could form some good cross promotional referrals with. So that's what we're looking for:
Okay.
local, luxury, and the service based is really important too. Because a service based business is going to be a type of business like custom jeweler, personal trainer, interior decorator, things like that. These
Okay.
are businesses that are like yours and are serving that high end client and the kind of client who values service. So it could be one or both of those. Either they are affluent or they just value service. That's going to be a good business for you too. So when you find
Okay.
that connection, and I'm going to warn you, it's not going to likely be 100% of the group. If you do find a group where everybody is local luxury service based providers and it's 100% women, oh my God, that would be heaven. But what's probably going to happen is you're going to find a group where maybe as much as 20% of the group has people that fit those descriptions. And that would be really great for you. But if you go into the group and there's no one that fits that bill, like
Mm,
everyone is a plumber or a Mary Kay sales rep, or selling Shakeology or something like that, that's not going to be the best match. It's not optimal. So we're looking for at least a good percentage of the group that fits in alignment with your business. Does that all make sense?
right. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely.
Okay. So now what are we going to do when we get there? So your mission is to go make friends. So tell me your comfort level with that. Is that something that you typically have comfort with, or is this way outside your comfort zone?
Um, I guess, on a scale from 1 to 10, 10
Mhm,
being perfectly comfortable, I'd
mhm.
give myself a 6 or 7.
All right. I like that. That's pretty darn good. 6 or 7. So have you been walking into networking already, or is this all new?
I've done a few sporadically over the
Mhm.
last couple of years, but I haven't made a habit out of
Uh-huh.
any of the ones that I've gone to. I don't know if I just didn't stick around long enough to see
Mhm.
anything transpire or something like that.
Okay, you said the most perfect phrase right there. You said, I might not have stuck around enough. The reason why that's so important is when we think about that, our mission is we want to meet strangers, turn strangers into friends, and then turn those friends into clients. And we're going to do that by building relationships of trust. The best example I can think of that's like this is walking into high school. So, when you
Mm,
first walked into high school, day one, incredibly awkward. You're new, and that's how it feels when you're first walking into a networking group. You don't know the lay of the land. You don't know how this group works yet. You definitely don't have your friends picked out yet. And sometimes it
mhm,
happens that on day one, you meet your best friend for life. But for most people, they meet
mm,
their friends as time goes on and they gain trust. And so, not sticking around, that is going to put you in jeopardy in networking. Because if you think of
right.
it, there were always kids in high school who transferred schools and they had a harder time fitting in and a harder time making friends. So, you have to make it your mission to stick around, to be there consistently. And the way that you can do that, I love this formula. I'm going to give you a book recommendation. Have you read the book,
Okay.
The Like Switch?
Yeah. No,
This
I have not.
This is super great. It's like Like. It's by Jack Schaefer. I'm going to put that on the same shelf as She Sells, The Empathy Advantage. You've probably read that one already because I have a great
I
chapter
have.
in there. It's She Markets slash She Makes Friends. That's all you have to do. You have to make friends, right? But the thing I
Okay.
love about the like switch is this guy talks about the friendship formula. And the idea is you want frequency, intensity, proximity, and duration. And the biggest one
Okay.
on that list that's going to be important for you is the frequency. Because imagine,
Right.
back to high school, if you're going to school every day and you're in class with people for an hour a day, you're going to make friends relatively quickly. But if you only saw people once a month for an hour, it's going to take a longer time. And if you only see them twice a year for an hour, it's going to take longer still. So you have to be showing up continuously. And as you mentioned, make it a habit. Habit is going to be important.
Right.
So,
Right.
on that note, what is it going to take you to make it a habit? How are you going to fit this into your schedule?
Well, I think fitting it into my schedule will be less of a concern by, going through and just and putting it into my calendar.
Yes.
Um, I'm less concerned about that. And I guess more curious about how to find those right events
Mm,
and where to be
mm.
looking to find them.
Yes. I mean, easiest path possible, Google. That's going to be right there
Sure.
because there are going to be consistent groups that exist in every market. I mean, BNI is one of them, Chamber of
Hmm.
Commerce, Rotary. There's many just standard organizations, and then there are more niche organizations as well. But I would just start off by Googling networking and then your city. I would start with
Okay.
that. But that's like a way to get kind of a broad idea of what's there. But the second thing that I would recommend that you do is just start asking this question to everyone you interact with. How
Hmm.
can someone like me get better plugged into the community? That question's magic. I
Oh,
asked that over
okay.
and over and over again. I asked that to every person who was in my studio. I asked that to all the people I knew who had businesses. I asked that to every past and current and present and future client I had. I just kept asking it over and over again. How can someone like me get better plugged into the community? And what that
Okay.
did is it is really magical because it elevates people. It lets people say, "Oh, I know the answer to this." Okay. So the experienced people will be happy to share with you. The
Hmm.
inexperienced networkers will also be happy to share with you because they're on this journey too. So you're going to hear a lot of ideas, and this is just the idea of crowdsourcing. If Google will get you started, but crowdsourcing will help you get closer to the heart of, yeah, but what does our community really do? And more specifically, whenever you have a great client in front of you, you want to know, how do I meet more of those great clients? So, what are the
Right.
things that I'm going to hear from the premium clients, and where are they going? Where are they spending their time? So just ask, and you can leave it open ended like that. How can I get better plugged into the community? They're going to tell you, this is
Okay.
where I'm in the community. This is how you would reach me.
Sure.
And the answers being so open ended will really start to filter you down the right path.
Okay. I like that.
Yep. So that's pretty much
Great.
it. That's your marching orders. You've got to go do some
Hmm.
research. You know what to look for now, local luxury service. And then your mission
Yeah.
is just make friends. And you make friends by
Okay.
showing up and most importantly by listening. So do you feel like
Right.
are
Right.
you pretty likable person? Like that book, The Like Switch will show you more, but do you feel that you're pretty likable already, or is that something you need to work on more?
I would hope that I'm likable.
Yeah.
And I am good at listening
Good.
and
Yeah.
you know initiating conversation with folks in a way that gets them talking about themselves.
Brilliant. You have all the why are we even on this call? You have all the answers right under the surface. Like, you talked about making it a habit, and that's exactly what I would recommend. You talk about you're good at listening.
Right.
Like, my favorite quote is Dale Carnegie. He'll say, "You can make more friends by listening for 2 hours than you can by talking at someone for 2 months." So, you
Sure.
listening is going to really help people like you more counterintuitively, right? You would think, "Oh, if I say the
Right.
right words, someone's gonna like me." Nah, it's just about listening. It's just about serving. That's what's
Sure.
gonna make them like you. So, yeah, you know this stuff. So then let me ask you this, because you've got the right answers, you already have the right instincts here. Is there something more practical that's been stopping you from networking? Like, it's not time management, you already said that. There is this basic question of
Right.
where to go. Is there anything else behind there, like a fear you haven't expressed or something else that you think might just be holding you back?
I suppose I would say to that two things. One is that some of the ones that I had mentioned that I have gone to in the past were more, like you mentioned, I wouldn't necessarily the trades, but
Yeah.
the direct sale group of women.
Yes.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
and so I don't know what that to me feels a little bit different than what you were just talking about in terms of
Yes.
luxury experience. So I
Yeah,
think
a little
I was
aggressive too,
looking
those
in the wrong
salespeople.
place.
Yeah.
And then I guess the bigger part of it is not really realizing how I can use this to my advantage. How can I
Mm-hmm.
use these new relationships to my advantage? Am I really looking to build relationships with the people who were there just to hopefully to turn them into a client,
Mm-hmm.
or to is it to I guess access myself into their realm of people?
Oh, yeah. I
Is it
mean,
both?
well, in a perfect world, it would be super awesome if everyone you met would refer you 10 clients. Like that
Sure.
would be the dream. That would be the best. And so we do hope for referrals, and referrals come when people trust us. But before any referral happens, people need to know what your service is about. They need to experience it
Hmm.
for themselves. And they really, even before that step, need to like and trust you. So I think that this
Okay.
is more of a long game. And I don't want you to
Okay.
feel that there's anything, salesy or manipulative about this, because one of the most wonderful things about doing a service you love is that you get to connect with really cool people and serve up really cool experiences. So, in business, we always say it's
Okay.
not what you know, it's who you know. The who you know is so important. And if you know who your brand needs to serve and how you're going to serve that brand, now you just have to populate your world with people who trust you. So that's going to
Okay.
come through being in the right place consistently and creating this as a habit. So that is going to come with time.
Okay. Okay.
So just
Yeah,
trust the
so I think
process,
that
stick
was
with it. Mhm.
yeah. I think that was like, to answer your question directly of what has been keeping me from it. I suppose it was not really having the vision of, well, how is this going to benefit me in the long run? Like, am I
Yeah.
just wasting my time doing this stuff?
Yeah. Yeah. Because it is a pipeline thing. It's not going to be instant. Whatever relationship you make today, whatever hand you shake today, this could potentially be your client 30, 60, or 90 days from now. And even
Sure.
sometimes I have relationships I've built for a year or more. So it's not an immediate feedback loop, but what happens is these
Okay.
things do build. And there are all kinds of people behind the scenes who are your advocates just because they're like, oh, I've got a girl. Oh, you got to go talk to so and so.
Sure. Sure.
They're going to like you and you're going to be the person they refer. And that's really the position you want to be in. You want to be that first person, top of mind. Okay, people know about me and they're talking about me. But they can't talk
Hmm.
about you if they don't know you. So the first thing is you
Right.
just have to know more people. And it's like, it's a really simple equation. The photographer who knows 20 people will be more successful than the one who knows two. And the one who knows 200 will be more successful. And, at this stage in my career, I likely know 2,000 people in the community that can refer me. But year one, it was all
Sure.
about let me meet 50 people, let me meet a handful
Right.
of people a month and start building relationships. And that alone was what afforded me the first $100,000 in sales revenue. So these things will build when you stick with it.
Okay.
All right.
All
Marching
right.
orders
I like
complete,
it.
but I love your instincts. I think just a touch more research, but I don't want to put the brakes on you. I think now that you know the answers, it's about signing up and showing up. And then you can do your research as you go, because this is going to be a longer process and you don't have to do everything day one. You're going to have time to find your way into the group. But first things first, just start showing up.
Okay. Okay. I can do that.
Awesome. All right. Good luck to you.
Well, thanks so much.
Talk to you later. Bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Want to fix your biz? If you're a professional photographer or aspiring pro, you need to join me in the best business group on the internet, Rise to the Top with Megan DiPiero. Ask your business question in the group and you might just be my next podcast guest. Join now at rttt.life.